Let's give her the necklace.
Signore Filoni, I was so struck by your elegance during our earlier conversation. I saw this in a shop today, and for some reason had the idea that it must be worn by you and no other.
Oh, Signore, how would you have known, eh? I had a similar necklace that I wore for many years, but recently, well, I was forced to part with it. I shouldn't accept it, but it has been years since I've received tokens from such a handsome young man, eh? How can I refuse? Mille grazie, Signore, thank you.
It's my pleasure. I'm sorry to trouble you with a distressing subject, Signore, but may I ask you about the night of the murder?
I really don't want to talk about that. I'm frightened.
Of course you are. Who wouldn't be? But I'm not the police, and this information is not for the courts. It will stay between you and me.
Well,
A musician like yourself, your ears are very keen.
yes, I heard a scream, as if her mouth was covered by a hand.
You looked out the window. What did you see?
There were two men, all in black. Slender, small.
Did you see their faces?
No, their heads, their faces. They were covered in black, as if they were in a play. I swear. Oh, perhaps I've been foolish. I should have stayed quiet. I must go. Thank you for the necklace.
Signora,
Okay.
Ah, Mr. Rector. I'm glad you stopped by. Someone was here looking for you.
oh? Who was that?
It was an Asian woman, middle-aged. She didn't give her name. She came in to inquire about you after your last visit. To be honest, I didn't like her manner, and I told her I didn't know you. I hope I wasn't wrong.
No, she doesn't sound like anyone I know, and I don't care for people knowing my business. Let me know if she bothers you again.
Of course.
I don't have anything new.
Suspicious. Okay, where were we? Murder bridge. What the fuck?
Come in, Mr. Rector. Please, sit down.
Thank you, Signor Cardolo. I'm sorry to intrude at a time like this.
I've been asked to speak with you, and that request came directly from the U.S. Embassy.
Impressive.
What interest does the United States have in my wife's murder? Do you think it was a terrorist act? Why would they want to hurt Bianca?
I don't have the answers, Signore. I'm still investigating.
Very well. I've already been over everything with the police a dozen times, but I'll do what I can to help you.
It would help me to know more about you.
Very well.
Was Bianca your first wife?
See, I worked hard all my life, and I'm not ashamed to say I enjoyed my youth. But a man who wishes to accomplish certain things in life needs a wife. Bianca was everything I needed. She had beauty, style, connections. I doubt I will ever find her equal.
Tell me about your work.
I am Consigliere of Venice. I used to practice law, but for now my focus is exclusively on politics. Venice is struggling, as is all of Italy. It will take the best of all of us to save her, if we can.
Tell me about Bianca.
What would you like to know?
Did your wife play piano?
No, she was quite musical, but she preferred dance. She was in a classical dance company before we were wed. As for the piano, Bianca loved to entertain, and music was always a part of such evenings.
How did you meet Bianca?
Bianca's family is one of the most influential in all of Italy. I have known her father for many years. I watched Bianca mature. She was the
Ew.
perfect politician's wife. She loved meeting people and doing philanthropic work. I knew she would make the perfect wife for a man of my ambitions. Fortunately, her father agreed, and I was able to convince her to marry me, even though she was quite young at the time.
How old was Bianca when you married her?
She was 18 and I was 43, but she was very mature for her age. She knew the life she wanted, and I could give it to her. She was happy in our marriage, especially once our son came along.
You're a sugar daddy.
I realize it is difficult to speak ill of the dead, but Bianca must have had some flaws. No one is perfect.
It is a good thing that I, myself, am a man who often has to say things no one wants to hear, because otherwise I would throw you out of the house for that impudence.
As you say, getting to the truth is not always pleasant.
She was a beautiful young woman. She had some insecurities. Never thought she was good enough, perfect enough. Perhaps I should be grateful for that. If she had been more confident, she might never have married me.
I appreciate your honesty, Signore. Bianca quit dancing after you were married?
Of course, it was hardly appropriate for the wife of a man in my position.
Asshole.
How old was Bianca when she had your son?
It was a year after our marriage. She was 19. Does that have some relevance?
We'll see. I must ask you about Bianca's murder.
If you must.
Do you know who killed Bianca?
No, she was a beautiful and gracious young woman. She had no enemies, nor do I.
Yeah, right.
Tell me about the night it happened.
Bianca wished to attend a concert. She had a number of musician friends from her student days. I declined to go with her. It was nothing important, and I preferred to get some work done. Now I wish I'd never allowed her to go out alone.
You couldn't possibly have known. It's not your fault. I've heard that you have unpopular views. Perhaps someone took offense to them.
Do you think someone would be cruel enough to hang my beautiful young wife because they did not like my politics?
I think people are not very wise and often violent.
I cannot control what madmen think or do. I'm afraid I must get back to work. In times of fiscal crisis, one is not even allowed the solace of grief. You may stay and look around. I have told the staff that you are free to come and go. You'll find Bianca's bedroom through that door there. And before you ask, the house has plenty of rooms. Bianca liked having her own sanctuary. We were happily married.
I would be the last person to judge such an arrangement. Thank you for your time, Signor Cardolo.
Goodbye.
A wedding photo of Bianca and Dante Cardolo. She has a striking figure. What I can see of it around that large bouquet. The sofa and chair are Queen Anne, but they've been reupholstered in red leather. Hideous. I prefer to stand.
Be sure to stand.
Someone must have a love of dance, or bare navels. It doesn't do anything, thank God. Bianca liked to entertain. I imagine there will be few parties in the... I don't play. Sympathy cards for Bianca. That brings home the tragic aspect of all this, doesn't it? I've no use for those cards. White roses, traditional for funerals and weddings. Appropriate since both are equally tragic.
Oh, zing. What an asshole.
Florists, Paddy. The material can be surprisingly versatile. I don't think Senor Cardolo will miss this.
At age 19, she had a son. She was married at age 18 to a 43-year-old politician. She loved to dance and was a talented ballerina. Her family was among the most wealthy in Europe. Her husband was unpopular due to politics. Her husband was descended from the same prestigious bloodline as father. Ew.
There's a light breeze tonight. Perhaps it's an incoming storm. Dance images and more family photos. Boring. The bench looks like it's been well used. Nothing helpful about it, though. I can't relax in here. Too many reminders of Bianca. What a tragic ending.
That's a weird floor border.
The desk is 19th century, Italian design. A small desk clock, worthless. Bianca kept some pens in here. No surprise, it is a writing desk. Perfectly ordinary clear tape. They look like drawers, but they're decorative. They don't actually open.
Then what's the point of having them?
Nothing interesting. Blank envelopes. Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting. Bianca's planner. It's open to the day she was murdered. She'd written in a concert for that evening, but there's nothing else relevant. I recognize that. It's a key slot, probably for a secret drawer. The notebook looks brand new. Postage stamps? Do people actually mail things anymore? Nothing interesting.
You're such a condescending fuck. Selecting an item in your inventory will cause it to become your active item and show up in your inventory tab. The eye enters examination mode, the magnifying glass enters interaction mode, and the bag enters combination mode. To combine two items, an item that appears in color can be combined with the current item. Click on the colored item to combine the two. Here we go.
Her robe and slippers are still laid out, waiting for Bianca to come home. I wonder how long it will be before someone dares put them away. Nearly everything in this room matches. I prefer a more eclectic approach myself. Senor Cardolo said this was Bianca's room, which means I presume that this was not the matrimonial bed. This bed set is a 19th century reproduction. Expensive, but not valuable, or even in good taste. That must be Bianca's son. He's young to lose a mother. It appears to be an old family Bible. Really not my cup of tea. The top drawer of the dresser. Gloves. This is quite an assortment. Not many women wear gloves these days. I wonder what Bianca saw in them. Interesting. This glove is quite large. It would fit my hand. These overly large gloves are interesting, but I don't need to take them with me. These overly large gloves are interesting, but I don't need to take them with me. The stool goes with the bed set. It looks rather useless. I have a feeling this brass hook dropped from Bianca's purse. I'll take it with me. And there we have it. Prescription cream for plaque psoriasis. Has Bianca's name on it. I wonder what this key card goes to. I should find out. It's a cheap prepaid phone. Who did Bianca need to speak to that she couldn't call on a regular cell phone?
Boyfriend.
Let's see who Bianca was talking to. I need to find out who Gabriella is. I'll put this in my phone's contacts. Bianca kept this key card in a secret drawer. I should figure out what it opens. They help with the headaches.
Pronto?
Am I speaking with Gabriella?
Si? This is Gabriella Spira. Who is this?
I'm calling about Bianca Cardolo. I found your number on her phone.
I thought someone might be calling me. Are you with the police?
I'm an independent investigator. May we meet?
I work near the Doji Palace. There's a cafe on the north side of the plaza. Can you meet me there?
Yes, I'll see you soon.
Alrighty, let's go. A dog plaza. Very old, but wow.
The Doja Palace dates back to the 14th century. The tourists love it. The Doja Palace dates back to the 14th century. What a stunning view. There really is no city like Venice. I've toured the palace before. I don't have time this trip. The lady enjoys an afternoon espresso, I see. That must be Gabriella Spira.
Okay. Hair and makeup, highlight face. Vein. Touches her hair. Highly conscious of social image. Medium muscular. Well, she's a friend of Bianca's, and she's definitely a dancer. Gabriella Spira is a dancer. She's vain and very concerned with her social image.
Are you Gabriella Spira?
Si, Signor Hector. You're investigating Bianca's death?
That's right. May I?
Please, sit down.
About Bianca.
Yes,
Tell me about Bianca's family.
she came from a very important family. Her father is Antonio Savoy. Her mother's father, he was a highly respected magistrate in Venice. Not just anyone can be friends with someone like that. Her family was very, protective of Bianca, but they were very fond of me.
Tell me about Bianca.
She adored the music. She loved to go to concerts, and she loved to dance.
She continued to dance after she married Dante Cardolo?
Yes, but she only went to the studio to practice when no one else was there.
How did you meet Bianca?
We were in the same dance company. Do you know, we were rivals at first, but I came to love Bianca like a sister. I can't believe she's dead, and to die in such a way, it's horrible.
It certainly is. I'm sorry for your loss. Do you have any idea who might have killed Bianca?
No, everyone loved her. She was very sweet, especially when you consider the importance of her family and all her money. She was not vain at all. He must have been, how do you call it, a serial killer. Random.
Yes, that's likely. What's the name of your dance studio? I'd like to look up some of your performances.
Would you? I'm so flattered. We have a recital next week. It's La Compagnia Venezia.
Excellent. I'll look it up. Two beautiful young women, best of friends. You knew Bianca better than anyone else, didn't you?
Well, I was her dearest friend. Bianca trusted me with her life.
And with her secrets? What did you know about Bianca that most people did not?
It wasn't anything she told me, but Bianca was very, worried about her looks. She was not confident.
Was there something specific about Bianca's looks that she didn't like?
Oh, I don't know. You know how women are. The slightest flaw. I really don't think Bianca would wish me to speak of it. But I can tell you this. If she'd had more confidence, Bianca could have gone far. Perhaps become the wife of the Prime Minister one day. As it was, she was content to marry Dante and stay in Venice.
Is that really all she could have, aspired to? Someone's wife? Come on.
Tell me about Dante Cardolo, Bianca's husband.
She was very happy with Dante. It was her dream to marry a politician. And, well, she liked the attention of the press.
Tell me about Bianca's son.
Paolo. What a beautiful boy. She adored him, of course.
She didn't mind? Having a child while she herself was so young.
Not Bianca. She loved it. In fact, she was expecting another child when she died.
Did you say Bianca was pregnant when she died?
You didn't know? Oh, now I don't know if the family would approve of me saying so.
It's quite all right. I won't tell anyone. How far along was she?
About 3 months. The test said he was a girl. She was so excited. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Sometimes it all becomes too real.
I apologize for upsetting you. I think that's all the questions I have. Thank you for meeting me, Signorina Spira.
Grazia. If there's anything more I can do for you, please call.
I will. Arrivederci.
Excuse me. My allergies have been horrible lately. Okay, she got pregnant with her second child at age 21. Bianca's dream was to be married to a powerful political man. Her mother was the daughter of a respected magistrate. Okay.
Bianca must have danced in front of that mirror 100 times. I don't believe in ghosts, but if she had one, that's where it would be. A ballet bar, polished by thousands of hands and feet. I could get my leg that high, but then I'd have to kill you.
Oh, you're flexible, huh?
A prima ballerina. I don't recognize her. Those costumes are stylish, but there's no one I know in the photo. How dramatic. I don't know anyone in that shot. There's no way to even know who that is. Bianca as the cursed princess of Swan Lake. My God, her hands. Overly large and reddened by a severe skin condition. Perhaps that's why Bianca had no more grandiose plans than being the wife of the mayor of Venice. Interesting. I need a record of it, but I don't want to carry the frame with me. I need a record. Good. Now that's an interesting data point. I've learned enough about Bianca now to attempt my analysis.
Alrighty. Bianca's hands were overly large and had a skin condition. Okay.
Some of these could have hundreds of matches, but I'm only considering historic people I think fit the general circumstances.
Alright, no, I already figured this out, so I'm just gonna narrow it down to who I know. Bianca's hands were overly large and had a skin condition. That's the only data point that doesn't coincide. Drusilla. Or any of them, really. The closest historic match is Livia Drusilla, wife of Roman Emperor Augustus, but there are two significant data points that don't match. She didn't dance, and she didn't have the skin condition.
I'll let Dexter know I'm done and on my way home. I'm taking the first flight in the morning. Dexter wants to see me straight from the airport. Won't take a report from the phone. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Big secrets, You could have just asked for an introduction. Two men ransacked my hotel room in Venice, and then they ransacked me. They took photos of my passport. Why?
What did the intruders look like?
Their faces were covered, but they were Asian. I'd guessed Chinese, but I can't be sure.
I apologize, Mr. Rector. I can assure you that I had no idea you would be in any danger. This was a fact-finding mission, nothing more. Please, if you would be so kind as to tell me what you learned about Bianca Cardolo. Did you make any connection between her and anyone in history?
No.
We were certain there must be something.
A person could make the mistake of associating her with Livia Drusilla. She was the wife of Augustus Caesar. Had a father descended from two prominent bloodlines, the Livy and the Claudi. Her mother was a daughter of a magistrate, and her first husband shared a bloodline with her father's family. She was married at 18 to a much older politician, whose politics were not popular at the time. She had 2 children with him. She was by all accounts wealthy, beautiful, and ambitious. Just like Bianca Cardolo.
So, you do associate Bianca Cardolo with Livia Drusilla?
I already said no. Look at her hands. Augustus appreciated beauty, too much so. He would have never married a woman with a physical flaw like this one.
That's very insightful. Thank you. We would like to continue to work with you, if you're amenable.
No.
I thought the fee was generous.
I want to know what this is all about.
The truth is, I can't trust you. Not yet. Perhaps in time, as we work together. I understand, a man of your intellect, how curious you must be. How frustrating it is not knowing everything you want to know.
I'm not frustrated. I'm done. If you need me again, you know my terms.
Would it matter to you if I told you that your work for us could be of invaluable service to your country and your countrymen? Maybe the entire world?
No.
You're not seriously gonna let him go.
I am. We wait. We wait for the pattern. It wasn't her. They thought it was, but it wasn't. Yes, I think she's still out there. We'll do everything we can to locate her. You have my word, Senator.
We can't risk them finding her first.
Give me time. They think she's dead, so they'll be off her trail, at least for a while.
Very well. Keep in touch. I'd like to hear more.
Still working? Won't you come up to bed?
I will, darling. Soon.